everybody, and welcome back to this tutorial. And before we actually implement our help function, what I want to do is show you a simple function that will check whether your target is running your reverse shell as an administrator or as user privileges. That way you can know what your limitations are and what you can do with the target PC. So let us nano our reverse shell.py, and right here what we will do is, for example, right here we will code a simple function called is_admin, which will check the admin for the admin privileges. What we need to do is use a global variable admin. Now the reason why we need to use a global variable admin is because we will actually use it in the shell function as well. Now there is another way, and you can just return the variable admin from this function to the shell function, but it doesn't really matter, whatever you prefer. You can continue with that. I will use the global variable admin. In order for us to do this, what we need to do is try and accept as usual. So we want to try and accept. What we want to try is actually accessing a certain directory in Windows, or the temp directory. Now the reason why we are trying to access that directory is because that directory can only be accessed once you're an administrator. So what we will do is we will try to access it, and then if we actually can't access it, we will know that we are not the admin. If we can access it, we are running this reverse shell as the administrator, and we know what our limitations are. So in order to do that, we will just put it in the temp library, variable equals os.list_dir. What we will do right here is we will try to list directory as it says right here, and we will use an OS library to perform that, so os.sep.join. And what we want to do right here is use an actual thing that we already used before, which is the os.environ, which we used in the app data. So right here we want to get a certain environment, and that environment will be the temp directory. So let's open this. Now make sure to open it like this. So in these inner brackets, what you need to type is between single quotes, you want to type system and then root, then comma, and then another single quotes, C, we want to access C, 2 dots, backslash, and then we want to use Windows. So basically, then you close the first bracket, and then you type comma between the first and the second bracket, and there in the single quotes you type temp. Or we need the actual square brackets right here, and not the, let me see in our app data what type of brackets we use. So we use the actual square brackets, not really sure right here. Probably we need to use them here as well, or we need to use them right here, I believe. So if we just type square brackets right here, open it there, close it right here after the temp, and then close these two brackets, which are the other two brackets from here. So this one and this one are rather confusing command, but it doesn't really matter. And then if that works, or if that doesn't work, we want to type admin variable, which is our global variable, 2 exclamation marks for the error, and we want to type user privileges, exclamation mark. In any other case, or basically in case where it did work, we want to type, or not exclamation mark, we want to add a plus as it did work. Let me adjust the space between the double quotes and the actual equal sign, and we want to type administrator privileges, exclamation mark. So this is our entire function. All we are left to do actually is just basically code the isAdmin in our else if statements. We will code it as a check function, so we want to actually add it, for example, right here. We can say else if command, and then first 5 letters equal to check. So once the user of our server just types check, it will check for the administrator privileges. And how we can do that? We can just try to run the actual is_admin, and then we will reliable send the admin variable. Since it is a global variable, we can access it from here, and we want to send the global variable. In the accept, all we need to do is just reliable send underscore send, and between the brackets we can just type here can't perform the check, since something went wrong and we really can't take any action in order to see whether we are administrator or whether we are a user. So that would be about it. Let me just compile the actual shell right here. Let's compile it real fast. Let us, while it is compiling, move it right here. A rather small and short tutorial. This is really fast function. We just want to have that just so we can know. Well, basically it's not really that much of a useful function, such as the other ones that we coded, but there's really no point in not having it there. Of course, you can add as many functions as you want, as many available options as you want to this reverse shell. We will not be adding any more except the actual keylogger and the threaded server, which is really important, so make sure to stick for that. So let me just move this to root, Kali live. But as I was saying, you can add multiple functions. Just search on the internet, for example, any type of function you want to input right here, and then make sure to code it properly into the actual server and the reverse shell code. So remove this, remove build, remove. Okay. Let us paste this to the actual desktop right here. And what we can do is run our server and run the reverse shell. So it seems that it worked properly. Let us go to our actual Kali Linux and we will perform the check right away and we will see whether it works or whether it doesn't. So just type check. You can see we are user privileges. So we know that we are now user privileges, but if we, for example, quit this and run this server once again, or we can actually run this first and right click, run as administrator. We want to run it as administrator. Our reverse shell is now running and we run the server once again. I will leave this so you can see the difference. So first time we got the user privileges, and right now if we run the check once again, we will see what we will get. Hopefully we get administrator privileges, otherwise this doesn't really work. So check, and we can see right now we are administrator privileges. So this function works really well. Rather short tutorial, and we will continue in the next tutorial with making our help options and then proceeding to the keylogger coding. So hope you enjoyed this tutorial and I hope I see you in the next one. Bye!